How much are you gonna do a Saturday stream?
Saturday. Don't you dare say Saturday like that ever again. Saturday. Don't even get me fucking going today. No funny story. No funny stories.
No funny stories. I don't think I have any funny stories actually.
No funny.
All right, let me put this out.
You are now listening to the John and Paul Show. John and Paul Show. Now listening. You are now listening to the John and Paul Show.
Excellent day. Excellent time as always to record with you, Fa. How are you today?
Doing good, man. Beautiful day outside. I will say the weather today is the closest to a fall day Florida will get. It's nice.
In a good way, it is the same way in Jersey. It is very crisp and fresh air, but it's also a little sunny and like not hot out. It's nice out right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I threw it out already, but I actually, in the honor of Jared Tabor, I actually went to Wawa this morning.
How was that?
It was delicious. Now, I do want the record to be shown. I used to, and still am, diehard Wawa guy. Like, I used to go to Wawa, I'd say 4 days out of the week, to get coffee at least. The only reason why I really don't now is just because I only like Wawa's hot coffee. Does anyone get their iced?
I don't. I also don't drink iced coffee that much anymore. I've very much converted to a hot guy. I like hot coffee.
See, it's funny. I feel like I actually reversed the other way. Like, I used to only be a hot guy, but as I've gotten older, I've really enjoyed ice more. I mean, I also think being in Florida has a big thing on that because, the only time I really enjoy hot coffee is if like I wake up and I'm like, I need this hot coffee in my mouth right now, or I don't leave the house and it's still like a little chilly in here, then I can also have hot coffee.
What say you on like hot cocoa?
You know what? I feel like this is going to be an unpopular opinion. If I truly had the choice to drink hot cocoa or coffee, I would pick coffee every single time. No matter what the time is, day, anything. Like, and look, that's not to say I don't like hot cocoa. It's delicious. I mean, it's chocolate and it's put marshmallows in. I mean, there's nothing not to like, but you know what, man? I feel like for me, hot cocoa is one of those things. You'll drink like a quarter of it, you'll drink a half of it, and you're like, man, this is really good. Then all of a sudden you'll put it down, not pick it up for like an hour, and you're like, shit, now it's cold. Now I don't want it. That's me, though.
You can't beat it on a nice snowy day, though. Snow's falling. It's something different about the chocolate versus the coffee taste.
Mm-hmm. You see that, but again, that's, on a nice snowy day, putting on the brewer.
Full disagreement we have right here.
I love it. And what were those? Why don't you tell everyone what were those noises that I was just making? Do you even know?
That was the coffee machine.
Okay, yeah, and it was me pouring it at the end.
Yeah. I knew it.
It was the coffee, but no, and like, look, I like hot cocoa. I don't know. I think I'm also a sucker for just getting that little feeling off of coffee, like that. Like, I don't think I get jittery at all, but like, I don't know, it just feels good. It feels good going down your mouth. And hey, I'm a coffee guy. I've been a coffee guy since I was young, man.
You like really that caffeine buzz that does it for you.
In the words of Jenny Quant, I like to get a little jazzed.
Yes, very jazzed. That's good vibes today, man. I have something to segue to, if that's alrighty with you.
Please take us away.
Last night I was sitting down and listening to, sometimes Spotify or Apple Music, I'm sure does the same as well. It has an algorithm to it. They'll recommend music that you've previously listened to, and an album showed up that I listened to while I was in Wyoming, and I cannot express enough how much I think it's important to, while you're exploring a new place and on vacation, to listen to a new album to you, because it will forever cement your mind and associate things with that album to the highest degree. I can promise you.
I know exactly what you mean, and to I guess a story that reminds me of what you were just saying was, back in the beginning of 2020, me and Allie did long distance because she lived in Indiana and I went back to Jersey. But then early in January, before I started working at JFM again, I took a trip to Indiana because I just really wasn't sure like when the next time I would be able to like see her. So I was like, let's just do this trip, like whatever. Anyway, we went to the Indiana Pacers game. They were playing the Sixers, of course. They lost, but did get to see TJ McConnell. Good guy. And on our way back, we were just like, just like had like a playlist on, just like with new music, and we heard this song. And it's like a super like dancey, like trap song. But for some reason, I always associate that song with that trip. Because when, we were, when I was on the plane coming home, I of course saved that song and it came up on my phone and I was listening to it and I was getting like all choked up on the phone. Like, it's like not a song to get like sad about at all. It's like a stupid like pop song. But like for some reason I associate that song so much with that trip and just like how fun it was. And I was like, damn, dude, like music has a powerful way. And like you're saying, like a new song or a new album and somewhere new, I feel like, it's an important thing to do.
It is insane how much your brain waves connect those things. And even if like you said, even if it is a trap song, it doesn't matter. It's the emotional connection that you have. You left the stadium and you heard this new song and you guys are both vibing. And it was about the atmosphere and the time spent with someone that you cared about. And that's exactly how I felt last night. I was just like, I was sitting there thinking about, dude, that was like just so much like it was a boys trip, man. It was fucking great, man. It was thinking about the energy and just the vibes that were there. It made me choked up in a good way. It was like, damn, I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my fucking life for sure.
I'm really interested in doing a trip like that. I know, we talked about doing a trip, just to make some music or hang out or whatever. I definitely think we need to get that in motion. I think that'd be nice to record a podcast in an environment like that as well.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
I wonder how the sound would be in like a place like Wyoming, like,
no,
out in like the middle. No, it'd be like what I'm saying. I feel like it'd sound extra clear almost. Yeah. Like I feel like it would have a purity to it in a way.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like there weren't as many chirping birds and shit. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention all that much. But still, I think the ambiance would be good. We need to arrange that off pod, but we will. Yeah, we will absolutely do it. We're finally to the age where we can all have our names put down for like cars and shit and places without getting exorbitant fees paid attached to our payments. Like you already get fucked with just like fees for no reason. But if you're under 25, you are absolutely fucked.
Yeah, it is tough, man. I know. I can actually rent a car now. Isn't that crazy to think?
Like, yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good to have. It's finally good for us to start to get into that. And it's you are now 25 and the dominoes will fall. Now all of us are going to be 25, but it's nice for us to finally be able to do it.
No, I agree. And last thing I just wanted to say real quick on the music thing, because there's one thing I want to add before we get too far off, is I'm just going to say it, and I feel like you're going to agree with this. I think I'm a fan of Dua Lipa, man. I've never heard a song of hers that I've disliked. I've never and I like her style because she almost brings like a trap type of vibe, and like how there's like always like a drop in her song, or like I don't think it actually is a drop, but it feels like one. And I don't know, me and Allie have been listening to a new song by her like a lot, and it's like, dude, every song I've heard I'm like, no, this is good, like it's very well produced also. Like I feel like her team really knows like how to like to produce a song beginning to end, adding little things throughout and all. So that's all I just want to say. If you're a fan of her too, let me know.
I know, I agree. I'm not like a super fan or anything, but any Dua Lipa songs I hear I typically do like, I will say.
Yeah. And she brings like a hip hop element in the way of like, I feel like she uses good samples for her songs. Like they always sound super modern, but with that like, older feel like type of thing. It's cool. It's cool. I'm a big fan of her. I listened to her while I was going to Wawa today. I had a nice mix of the summer fall vibes going because like
Nice.
it was still warm outside, but it was feeling fall to me. But I was having like some like light pop, like dance type of stuff going on. Like, I don't know, it was a good vibe. And then just being at Wawa in the morning, it actually got me in my feels a little bit. Not like actually in my feels, but just like nostalgic, I guess would be a better word. I brought it up a few times of me doing deliveries, like at JFM, like part of my routine, man, would go into Wawa, grab a sandwich, grab a coffee. Even though JFM supplied breakfast sandwiches and coffee, I still wanted to go to Wawa and buy my because the coffee at JFM just didn't slap. And I know Kraus and Macaluso disagree with that, but I don't like it. And it's a good time.
Yeah, no, it's funny how you'll see little things and it'll make you nostalgic for even, no, it's one of those things where in life you'll sometimes have jobs that do suck, but like you just have fun at them regardless.
Exactly.
Like when I worked at the arcade, like it sucked. I hated it, and the managers for the most part, like the higher up managers sucked. The ones that were like closer to us were really cool, but like
Right.
the job sucked. But it was fun times. It was just fun doing it. It sucked, but it was fun.
Yeah. It sucked, but it was fun. And I feel like that's a good motto for like growing up in that like 17 to like 22 like 3 area. Like, it sucks because like normally like you're stressed out with school, you got like a job that's kind of shit, you're like figuring things out. It sucked, but it's fun.
Yeah. I feel like that.
I love that.
I feel like figuring yourself out is crucial in those years, and again, we've talked about this before, but having friends who support you and allow you and encourage in a good way your shaping of yourself, it's a good thing, man. It's a thing that's crucial to that time in life, I feel like.
Well, what's interesting, I don't know if you'd agree with this or not, but I do find, like from talking to people, it's kind of abnormal for all of us to still be as close as we are, because like I'll talk to Allie and stuff, and she's like, oh, I'm not friends with anyone I was with high school or like middle school or whatever. Like, and so many people I feel like say the same thing, but then here we are, like my friends from middle school and high school are still my best friends to this day, man. It's never changed.
Yeah, no, exactly what you said. Like, at work all the time, working at a bar, you'll work with so many walks of life. It's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
And
like that.
95% of the time when I talk to people, their friends are not from the high school.
Yeah.
And even
it's
at that,
never like that.
It's funny because, I know it sounds stupid and kind of braggy, but like, I feel like I keep up with like a lot of people from old jobs, like at least a couple of people or two, or at least we like follow each other or something. Like, so in some way we keep up with one another with like at least one or two people, maybe more from each job. And like, I feel like a lot of people are like, I'm no longer working there. Fuck every single person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, you got to keep those connections open. I mean, just in a way, like you never know what's going to open. I think that's what's so funny about like social media. I will say specifically Snapchat. It comes to mind for me. And it works for Facebook, Instagram, all those. But like, it's interesting to look at your followers because it's almost like a timestamp of like people you've met in your life. Like, like for example, on my Snapchat, I have people from high school. I have people from other jobs, and like when I was DJing, and like like from college, like all like just an assortment of people that like none of these people would ever be in the same room together in any like situation or whatever, but here they all are on my Snapchat. I'm looking at all their stories. Like it's an interesting thing, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, like the experiences you go through in life.
Do you ultimately think that social media is a good thing or a bad thing?
I think how people use social media is a bad thing. I think the premise of social media is good, though. I think the reasoning for social media being around, I think the whole reason of it to be created was so we could stay connected with each other even when we're not. I think that's a fantastic thing. I think people definitely overuse it, and I definitely think it's gotten I feel like social media has gotten a bad rap because of, people overusing it, people using it for bad, not for good. But I mean, if you really look at the core of it, man, like it was just supposed to be another way for us to all be together in a way. So with that, I do like it.
Yeah, so now with that being said, then it just comes back to typically people don't moderate themselves on things as much as they should, and social media is a slippery slope. You
It is
know,
a slippery slope.
it's
It
you could
is.
say that you could say that about anything in life. I say it all the time. Moderation's key.
Yeah, it is. And you're right. I just wish people would go into using like social media for just that thing to stay connected and to send funny stuff like or like whatever, like just send interesting facts. Like no one should be arguing and fighting and you know stirring the pot in the mix all the time. Like just have a good time, man. Like use it for what it's for. Don't overuse it. Like be yourself.
So you would basically want a what dude social media essentially, where you just send facts to each other.
Oh, I would love that. Love that. Uh-oh. One slipping out. Just for our viewers out there, I did wake up in a mood and I'm trying to contain it.
I think you've been doing really good this far. I gotta give you props.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I've been doing good. One thing I want to get your opinion on too, speaking of social media and news and all that type of stuff, I don't know if you have an opinion on this, but the whole Ben Simmons situation, that's been an ongoing thing on my social media. That's all I see really, and I mean that's definitely my fault because I follow all Sixers accounts and stuff. But I just wanted to see like kind of what you thought of that situation, and do you think Ben Simmons can really suit up for the Sixers and play another game in Philadelphia?
I think probably not. And for any context needed, Ben Simmons currently essentially leveraged himself a position to not play with the Sixers. It's one of those things in basketball. It's like a very weird thing where like a player can go from having no leverage and go to the team owners and just say, "Hey, I don't want to play with you anymore, so trade me or I'm just not going to play with you." So that's what Ben Simmons essentially did. And I think it's just the wrong city for him to end up doing this in, especially when like you look at the team now and all things considered, most of the things were his fault that weren't working.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the thing that where it was wrong is like he just never had the leverage to do something like that. He's a great player, not taking that away, but he's also not our best player either. Like, I think it would have been different if it was like, let's say Joel Embiid did something. Like, I feel like we would be able to trade him in a heartbeat. Like I mean, we'd be getting crazy great offers for him. I mean, obviously it's not like that, thank God, because I need Joel Embiid on the Sixers forever. But yeah, man, it's just an interesting story. I just feel like I've seen so many different reports, and everything is per sources, per this, per that, like all this stuff. And
Quick snapback.
Back at it. Quick commercial break by the boys.
Yeah, quick commercial break. Everyone has their vaccination card now. We're all settled.
Yeah, we had just little ohays, and we're back at it. But
we're back.
Yeah.
What? You or me? We're off right now. We gotta get rolling again.
All right, here, ready? I'm Fa. Start all the way from the beginning, episode 1. No, but we were just finishing up with the Ben Simmons thing, man. Just just my final thing is he can't just come back and he can't just act like nothing happened. He needs to at least address the situation in some way, whether that's a press conference and an interview, if he like puts out a statement, something. Like it's just I feel like it's gonna piss me off and it's gonna piss a lot of Sixers fans off if he just comes back and it's just like, yeah, I'm here. It's like, nah, dude, like all this shit happened. Like, come on, at least just be like, hey man, it's going through a thing, a lot happened.
Never.
Never.
It's never gonna happen ever.
Never.
There would never ever be a player who would be less likely to do it than him too. He's just so non-confrontational.
Which is so annoying because, again, bringing it back to if it was Joel Embiid, like I feel like he would be putting out stuff left and right, like kind of giving you updates and being like, "Look, I love the city of Philadelphia, but I just cannot do it anymore." Like, I mean, that'd be horrible, but
Yeah. It was good to have Joel on.
yeah. Oh, no.
Thanks for coming on, Joel.
Thank you, no problem. Oh man, yeah, we still got to get Brett Brown on the pod too.
We really do. We really came in today. We didn't have a lick today to talk about.
Nothing. But hey, it's a little quick side note. Follow our TikTok. We got some more videos up. I actually just posted a little clip of last week's brouhaha with the Pat Go story from Tabor. That was hilarious. It's funny here, actually, quick story about that. I was, as you know, I listen to the pod in the gym. Excuse me. And I actually have 2 gym stories. First one being, I was listening to the pod and I knew that part was coming up. Like, as soon as you said, so I actually have 2 funny stories that happened at the Paco this week. I was like, all right, here we go. First one goes through without a hitch, right? I'm just gearing up for the next one. And as soon as, I was preparing myself, but as soon as it happened, man, big smile on my face, doing the, cracking up. There's people all, looking at me, probably thinking I'm laughing at them. I'm like, no, I'm listening to the John Fa. And they're like, the John what? Dude, and then the other little story I have was I was at the gym, right? And the elevator was broken, so I had to take the stairway down. Got to the bottom of the stairway, feet got tangled up, and I fucking fell. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That was good. As soon as you said feet tangled up, this is too real.
No. So we don't have an elevator in my gym, but no. But so yesterday I was at the gym though. I was at the gym and there is 2 other people in the gym, and the way it's split up is there's this little wall, but you can still see over the wall. It's not like a high wall, and it kind of just cuts off where the treadmill and some machines are, and where other machines are on the other side. So I was on the back half, just by myself, just vibing, doing some pull-ups, doing all this shit. And there's these 2 people up in the front. And dude, I think I had the worst scare of my life at the gym yesterday because I was just vibing, right before I left, I was like, let's see how many pull-ups I can do. I don't know. I always like to just gauge how well the workout was, Shout out John Macaluso. And I was doing pull-ups. I was killing it. And I dropped and I looked to my left. And one of the people were just standing right there. And I literally went oh my God. And she just looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, what are you doing? She's right there. And as soon as I walked away, I literally took a step away, she jumps right on and starts doing stuff. I was like, that was kind of rude. I wasn't I was on that machine the whole time. I literally just went on for a minute just to do those pull-ups or whatever. And, yeah, didn't say anything to me, just looked like I was insane. I was like, 6 feet, bro. 6 feet. Get away.
Jesus, man. That's fucking annoying.
It was.
Do you wear
annoying.
a mask at the gym?
I haven't since I've been vaccinated. And a lot of times our gym isn't big, but it is big enough where you can kind of just be away from people. There's really no reason, to be up their ass. And I mean, again, we've talked about this on the pod before. It really stinks that a whole pandemic had to happen just for people to get off your ass a little bit. The 6 feet thing in line, please. Let's keep that going. No reason for you to be touching my back and stuff, while I'm trying to pay for something.
Speaking of that, I was at the thrift store a week or 2 ago, and there was a lady legitimately shoving a fucking cart up my ass. I swear to God, I was I would move up an inch or 2 and she would literally shove the car into my ass.
Ew.
I wanted to swing and fucking, I kept looking or turning around and giving her fucking looks, but
was she an older woman?
She was. I mean, she was like at least in her 50s.
Oh, and did you turn around and say, "Do you know who I am?"
I know. I should have fucking thrown her cart into fucking a different galaxy. I know what you're doing right now. I know what you're up to.
What am
You're
I up
looking
to?
for a what dude right now.
I think I may have found one.
I know you're looking for one. I can see it in your eyes.
How can you? What's the looking for a what dude eyes?
Desperation in your eyes right now. I'm telling you.
You like that? I actually
Yeah.
I found an interesting one, but no.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting. No, dude, screw that one. Screw anyone who's up your ass in a line at all. And then, like, if you try to tell them, "Hey, do you mind backing up?" They get mad at you, and it's like,
so annoying.
it's like, dude, no, like, I'm not trying to cause a fight. Just literally take a step back. Like,
Right.
that's all I ask. Like, what? Why do you want to be close to me? I probably smell.
Right?
You know, I probably smell like BO. Nah, I usually smell good, actually. You know, that's one thing I enjoy about growing up is I feel like, you know, you go through that weird phase in your life, like where like you got to use like deodorant. I don't know. I went through this thing where I sweat like a ton. I mean, I'm still like fucking soaked right now as we're doing the podcast, but like, you know, I used to like really sweat under my armpits. I always felt like I would smell, but I feel like as you get older, all of a sudden you're like, your body's like, nah, we're good. We don't need to smell anymore.
No, I still smell.
I mean, I'm sure I still do, but overall, I mean, I also just found like, you know, deodorant I've been using for a long time. It just works. You know, Old Spice. You know, I think we talked about this before. Like, there's like the levels you go through. Like when you first start using deodorant body spray, it's like Axe, then like Old Spice, and then like normally people will go up one. I'm still in that second tier, man. I still love my Old Spice. It just smells great, makes me smell good, makes me feel good, does a great job under the arms.
I still use Old Spice deodorant, but I've definitely moved up in terms of cologne. We've already had this discussion, so I'm not even going to go in on it.
Yeezy cologne, you still using that?
Yeah, not really. I that's like probably like my fourth rotational cologne.
Really? How many colognes
Yeah.
do you own?
4.
Really?
And I'm buying a 5th. I need to wait for it to get in stock though.
Sheesh. I think I have 2 max.
Wow. I like switching it up.
That's nice. I just feel like I get to a thing where, you know, I have this certain smell to me that I have to maintain, you know? Got it.
See, I like always changing it up and throwing a curveball at people.
You know, when I do think of Jared Tabor, I do think of a nice smelling man. I will
Thank
say.
you. Thank you.
I will say.
It's definitely something that I try to maintain. I don't want to smell like BO ever.
Never, Steve. Never. So, speaking of BO, I do have a what, dude?
Huh?
Wait.
What, dude?
Huh? Wait. So actually it has nothing to do with BO, but McDonald's once made McDonald's once made bubblegum flavored broccoli? Your fucking face. You looked like the scene we were talking about before the pod from Rick and Morty season 2 with the two brothers, and then they flash back to Morty and Rick just sitting there with their heads cocked with a smile on their face watching the best movie trailer in the world. But yeah, dude, apparently McDonald's tried making some bubblegum flavored broccoli to make it make kids eat it to get a little healthier, and apparently the test, like, you know, I guess they got some kids to like try it to see if they liked it. And the kids didn't like it. They didn't like it because they were confused by the taste, which I feel like is pretty valid, to be honest.
If it had any hint of broccoli, it would automatically suck dick to the kids.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, but imagine like you eat like a big leafy green thing of broccoli. I don't think broccoli's leafy.
And even if it tasted like bubblegum, it'd be weird. A weird combo.
No, exactly. Like who in the, you know, corporate rooms thought that was a good idea? Stick with the McChicken, stick with the McDoubles, no McBroccolis.
No, good tag.
You like McBroccoli?
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, dude. Other than that, man,
I'm tapped. I don't have anything else.
I gotta be honest with you. That coffee
You
is
gotta
coming out
go.
today.
You gotta go.
It is, but hey, man, it's been a good time, dude. We just got to around a little bit. Fantasy basketball starting up. We just officially made that this morning, so that'll be fun. And more TikToks will be on the way as always. Go Knights.
Yeah, I think this was definitely a shorter one. If I can recall when we started, I think it's probably gonna clock in about a half hour. But it's been good. We came in with nothing. Always like doing it. As I say every week, it has been a pleasure.
It's a delight.
It is a true delight. An afternoon delight.
All right. I'll see.